Nobody reads short stories.
Hey everyone, I'm Jeremy,
And I'm Megan.
and you're watching Nobody Reads Short Stories Cranky Talk edition.
Woohoo! So while Nobody Reads Short Stories proper is on hiatus between seasons 1 and season 2, Jeremy and I are doing weekly cranky talks with you guys so that you can still connect with us and listen to what we have to say about writing and books as we prepare for season 2. And what's going to happen in season 2, Jeremy?
Season 2, we're going to do more short stories.
That's right. And we are currently reading those short stories for season 2. So if you have a short story that you would like to submit to us, please go to our website, nobodyreadshortstories.com. All of our submission information is down at the bottom. We are 100% committed to showcasing all kinds of stories. We're very committed to showcasing diverse stories. So if you have a short story that you would like to submit to us, please send it our way. We can't wait to read it.
Yeah, don't be concerned it's too crazy, because nothing's too crazy for us.
Nothing's too crazy for us. If you listen to all the short stories that we read last season, you will know that.
Yeah, I'm excited. We already have some in the lineup that we're excited about. By the way, before we get too interesting, because you know how interesting me and Megan are, make sure to like and subscribe onto our YouTube channel. And if you want to be reminded about these, you can ring that little bell on the right, I believe, and you will be notified when we are doing one of these.
That's right. The little bell is right next to the subscribe button that will let you set your notifications. And if you want to follow us on social media, you can find us on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. And if you want to throw us some Twitter love, please use the hashtag #NRSSpodcast. And as usual, we are an audio podcast, so you can also find us on Spotify and iTunes, Apple Podcasts, and Stitcher for your downloading and listening pleasure.
You can find Megan Morrison at meganamorrison.com. Every week she does a update. You don't do an update every week, right? No? Okay.
You don't know me.
Dang it, last time I'm pitching Megan.
No, you did a great job. But if you want to sign up for notifications, I don't notify everybody every week. But when I do have a notification or something to update, you will, if you sign up for the notifications, you will receive that in your email.
Well, I'm a little annoying.
Jeremy, on the other
Exactly.
hand, at jeremyraystories.com,
Ooh.
gives you a story every week. So when you sign up for our notifications for his newsletter, you are guaranteed a fresh news story every week.
Well, fine. You did better at this introduction thing than me, Megan. You win. All right, I think it's time for Cranky Talk. So,
all right, we ready?
We listened to the voters, also known as our listeners, and they said they actually like hearing us talk, which is surprising. So we're actually going to do 7 minutes from now on.
All right.
All right, Megan, pull the lever.
All right, here we go. So this week I read something a little bit different. I read this book called Atomic Habits by James Clear. I actually have it. It's not an ebook, it's an actual book that I read. So I'm going to hold it up so everybody who's watching can see the cover. And it's unlike my fellow co-host here, I am not a huge fan of self-help books. And but this is more of a self-improvement or self-behavioral book.
You can reword it, Megan. You just reworded it. You know what that book is. Just admit it.
All right, fine. It's a self-help book, and I'm owning it. But this is a book that I actually really liked and I really gravitated toward. It's a really fast read for a self-help book. And it's all about, the subtitle is an easy and proven way to build good habits and break bad ones. And the thing that I gravitated to about it is how he gives you a lot of action items. And he doesn't want you to work against your own behavior. So it's basically about taking the behavior that you already have and then sort of like reworking it in these certain ways using your own behaviors to make them to be more productive or efficient for you. And the reason why I came to this book was because, since I know I'm not alone in this, but since coming from COVID, I've really struggled with just time management, and particularly, organizing my life in terms of work and writing has been really difficult. And he just gave me a lot of really interesting ways that I might be able to be a little more efficient in that respect. And I like how he doesn't sugarcoat anything for you. He breaks it down and he's like, you're going to do this every day and you're going to get bored, but you still have to do it every day, because that's where it's in that boredom phase that you just do it over and over and over again, that you really become a master, and that you really elevate yourself in whatever task you're trying to do. And I gravitate toward that as a writer, because so many times we think, oh, we're just going to sit down and we're going to write this great American novel and it's going to be wonderful and it's going to be beautiful. But so much of being a writer is just showing up every day and putting words to paper and understanding that they might be crap. But if the more that you do it every single day, the better and better that you get.
Yeah, and I think it was Neil Gaiman who said, and I might be misquoting, I know some author said this, but you might have good days or bad days, but you just go in, and when you look back, you don't know which ones were good days or bad days, like when you look at the writing, and it's a good point.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and he breaks it down as that, if you show up for 2 minutes a day, if you write for 2 minutes a day, yeah, you didn't get a whole lot written for that day, but then after a week, you have a paragraph at least.
Yeah.
Or 2 paragraphs.
What made you?
And all of that adds up.
Sorry, what made you decide to read this book, since you're not into self-help?
Well, again, it was the Overdrive Los Angeles County Library app that recommended it to me, and then it kept popping up, and I was like, no, self-help, no, I don't need self-help. But then a friend of mine from college mentioned that she had read it, and I felt like it was a little bit of a sign that maybe I should take another look at it. And I'm so glad I did. It was, like I said, it was a very quick read,
cool.
And I feel like I got so much out of it. And I think it might be beneficial for anybody who's just trying to feel a little less frenzied in their time management, or trying to add a little more purpose to the things that they're trying to accomplish in a way that's very like, these are the things that you can do. He gives you a lot of action items, which I appreciate, instead of just saying like, this is the philosophy behind habitual behavior. Like, I like step 1 and step 2 and step 3.
That's cool. Yeah.
So Jeremy, what have you been reading this week?
I am halfway done with this. And like I love
What's the name of the book?
Oh, I'm so sorry. So it's Circe. Great book by Madeline Miller. I didn't think that I would have a book that could hold up to the Song of Achilles, at least recently. And then I'm like, okay, so she's gonna do it. She's gonna do well with this book too. I can't put it down, and I literally had to be dragged out of my bed to do this because I just wanted to read, to be honest. I'm like excited to be in front of these lights and the camera, but honestly, if Megan, you want to do the rest of the show, I'll just read. It's really good. Like I'm not joking around with this book. It reminds me, if people know The Mists of Avalon, it has that feel to it. You're so angry for this poor woman, Circe, because the gods are awful, dudes are awful in it, the women are awful in it, and you're just like rooting for her to, I don't know what's going to happen in the rest of these pages, but I hope she starts burning people, because she has a rough life and she's able to stay positive, and it's great. What's really intriguing about this book, actually, now that we're talking about it, Megan, is that it's so one person. Like I don't think I've ever had a book before where it's all in the mind of one person. It's mainly her story. It's it's almost like a monologue from theater where you're getting all of her thoughts and
Mm-hmm.
feelings and stuff. And how the heck does she pull this off? How does Madeline Miller pull that off? Like have such an interesting book. This book has 5-star reviews across the board. So intriguing. So intriguing. Oh, and if you all like witchcraft, like this has witchcraft in it. Yeah.
And it's written in the first person?
Yes.
Is it written like it's written in the first person?
It's written first
See,
person.
I think people who write books in the first person are so brave, and it's such a hard feat because
Got you again.
well, I guess you guys will never know what the rest of my thought was on first person narratives. We'll discuss that later.
So that was it for today. This one was a really fun one. It felt like shorter even though it was 7 minutes.
Yeah. So again, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe us to us on YouTube. Hit the little red button and then hit the little bell if you want to be reminded weekly when we're going on the air. And we will see you guys next week.
Bye. Come back next week.